Dear students, hope all are doing good. In the previous video, we have learned the degree measure and radian measure of an angle. Today we will be learning these things in detail. Now we will be learning a theorem which gives the relation between radian measure and degree measure. The statement of the theorem is the radian is independent of the radius of the circle. Proof: consider a circle with a center O and radius R. You can see the circle here, and AB is an arc of length which is equal to the radius R. Join OA and OB, that is the end points of the arc is A and B, which are joined to the center of the circle O. Now we will get an angle AOB, and as per the definition of 1 radian, we will get the measure of the angle AOB as 1 radian because the arc length is equal to the radius. Now we extend this OA to the point C, to the opposite of this OA. Then we will get two opposite rays which is forming a straight angle. So straight angle AOC we will get. So angle AOC is equal to a straight angle, and we know straight angle is equal to two right angles. A straight angle is formed by joining two right angles, and the measure of two right angles is equal to 180 degree. Now here the circle is of radius r, then we know the circumference of the circle is equal to 2 pi r. And arc ABC is a semicircle. We have extended the point A to C. Then we'll get a semicircle. Now length of arc ABC or length of the semicircle is half of this 2 pi r, that is equal to pi r. Now we know that the measures of angles at the center of a circle are proportional to the lengths of the corresponding arcs that subtends the angles at the center. That is, the central angles are formed by the arcs of a circle, and their measures are proportional to the arc lengths. So let here the arc AB subtends angle AOB and arc ABC subtends the angle AOC at the center of the circle. So we will consider the proportion. Measure of angle AOB upon measure of angle AOC is equal to length of the corresponding arcs AB upon length of corresponding arc ABC. That is, measure of angle AOB we have 1 radian and measure of angle AOC, that is 180 degree, which is equal to arc length of AB. Length of the arc AB is R, and arc length of the arc ABC is pi r. We substituted all the values here. So 1 radian is equal to r, and r will get cancelled. 1 upon pi you will get, and take this 180 degree to the RHS. Then you will get 1 radian as 180 degree upon pi, or 180 upon 180, and pi both are constant. So we will write inside the bracket, and it is 180 upon pi degree, which is independent of radius r. That is, in this formula there is no r. That is the theorem. Now we are getting some results from this theorem. The theorem says 1 radian is equal to 180 upon pi degree. So pi radian will be equal to 180 degree. That is, we will multiply this with pi to get pi radian value. So pi radian is equal to 180 degree. Now 180 degree equal to pi radian we got here. So 1 degree we will obtain from this by dividing this pi by 180. So 1 degree is equal to pi upon 180 radian. Now these 2 points are very important, which are used in solving sums in the exercise. First one, since 1 radian is equal to 180 upon pi degree, we can convert radian measure into degree measure using or multiplying the radian measure by 180 upon pi. And the second one, 1 degree is equal to pi upon 180 radian. We can convert degree measure to radian measure by multiplying degree measure by pi upon 180. Now, some important angles in their degree measures and corresponding radian measures are given in this table. Degree measure 15 degree is corresponding to pi upon 12 radian. 30 degree is equal to pi upon 6 radian. 45 degree is equal to pi upon 4. 60 degree equal to pi upon 3. 90 degree is pi upon 2. 120 is 2 pi upon 3. And 180 pi. 270 is 3 pi upon 2 and 360 degree is 2 pi radian. Now, relation between angle and time in a clock. We will consider the rotation of minute hand. Minute hand is like a ray. Now, we have one rotation of a minute hand is 360. One complete rotation makes 360 degree, we know. And one rotation as per the minutes, it is 60 minutes. That is, to complete one full rotation, it takes 60 minutes and 360 degrees. So we can equate these values, 360 degree and 60 minute. So 60 minute equal to 360 degree. So from this we will get 1 minute is equal to 6 degree by dividing 360 by 60. You will get 1 minute is equal to 6 degree. That means to rotate 6 degree, the minute hand takes 1 minute. That is 1 minute. The minute hand rotates 6 degree angle. And we will consider the hour hand. We have one rotation of an hour hand is equal to 360 degree and one rotation which is equal in time, it is equal to 12 hours. So 12 hours is equal to 360 degree. So 1 hour is equal to 30 degree by dividing this 360 by 12 hours. So rotation 1 to complete 1 hour. Now 1 hour is equal to 30 degree and 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes that we know. Now we can equate both these 30 degree and 60 minutes. So 60 minutes is equal to 30 degree. Then from this 1 minute is equal to 30 upon 60 degree, that is half degree, 1 upon 2 degree. That is for the hour hand. For the hour hand to complete 1 minute, it forms an angle of 1 upon 2 degree or half degree. That is we know the very slow movement of our hand. So it forms only for getting 1 minute, it forms only a 1 upon 2 degree angle. Now we will start with the exercise 1.1. Question number 1a. Determine which of the given pairs of angles are coterminal. Note, there is a property related to coterminal angles. If two directed angles are coterminal, then the difference between the measures of these two angles is an integral multiple of 360. Integral multiple means integer multiple, that is 1 into 360 or 5 into 360 or minus 2 into 360, etc. First one, 210 degree and minus 150 degree. So here many questions are there. I considered very important and little difficult one I considered. You can solve the remaining sums in your notebook. Now difference, so to check whether these angles are coterminal or not, we have to find the difference between these. So 210 minus 150 degree makes 360 degree and 360 degree can be written as the integral multiple of 1, that is 1 into 360 is equal to 360. So this satisfies the condition. So this is an integral multiple of 360, therefore we can say the pair of angles given are coterminal. Now the second one is 360 degree and minus 30 degree. So the difference between these angles equal to 360 degree minus 30, that is 390. And we know 390 degree is not an integral multiple of 360. So we can say 360 degree and minus 330 degree do not form a coterminal angle. Now question number fourth one, minus 405 and 675 degree. First we will find the difference. So minus 405 minus 675 degrees. On adding you will get minus 1080 because they both have the same sign. So add and put the common sign. Now we can split this as minus 3 into 360. Minus 3 is an integer. So we are getting this angle as an integral multiple of 360. So the given pair of angle are coterminal. Now the remaining sums you can solve because which are very similar to the solved sums. So you have to solve in your notebook. And question number 1b. Draw the angles of the following measures and determine their quadrants. That is, we have to find their quadrant. First one, minus 140 degree. Now minus 140 degree can be written as minus 90 plus 50 degree. As the angle is negative, we know the direction is clockwise. So after covering 90 degree, it again covers 50 degree. So 90 degree and 50 degree in the clockwise direction, the angle or the initial ray reaches to the terminal ray in the third quadrant. So the given angle lies in the third quadrant. Clear? Now we will solve the sixth one, 1120 degree. This can be written as 3 into 360 plus 40 degree. Here the angle is positive, so we consider the anti-clockwise direction. Now this 3 into 360 means the initial ray completes the complete 3 times the complete rotation. So initial and then it reaches to 40 degree means, look at the diagram, you will understand more. Starts its rotation from here, 1 complete rotation, 2 complete rotation and 3 complete rotation, and again covers 40 degree here in the first quadrant. So the given angle lies in the first quadrant. Now minus 820 degree, 10th one. Minus 820 can be written as minus of 2 into 360 plus 100 degree. But 100 is not acute angle, so we have to split it again. So minus 2 into 360 plus 90 plus 10. That is, after 2 complete rotation, it again crosses 90 degree, then again covers 10 degree. Now since the angle is negative, we have to consider clockwise direction. So after 2 complete rotation, the initial ray complete 1 more right angle and reaches the terminal ray in the third quadrant. Let us look at the diagram. So it actually completing in clockwise direction. So we will start from here in clockwise. So downward it goes and completes 1 rotation, 2 rotation and again 190 degree, then again 10 degree in the third quadrant. So the given angle minus 820 is lying in the third quadrant. Students, I have already told few sums left in each question. Question number 1A and B, those sums are very similar to the solved sums. So you can practice yourself in your notebook. It is very compulsory to solve all the sums in your notebook. Now the remaining sums in exercise 1.1 are continued in the next video. Thank you.